Banger after banger.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Big Hero Chris back at you with another one. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, leave me a thumbs up, ring the notification bell, hit me up here, TikTok, hit me up in the community post. You already know the vibes. And I'm back at you with your AEW Dynamite review. And we had another one. We had another good episode of Dynamite from beginning to end. Some good stories being told, mainly involving the Elite and the Blackpool Combat Club. We had a dope ass main event. This episode of Dynamite was really good. It started off hot. It started off showing the aftermath of the Young Bucks, Nick and Mac Jackson being taken away in an ambulance, taken away to a local medical facility. Brandon Cutler went in one ambulance vehicle, and Hangman went in the other one. So, building upon that friendship, building upon what we saw last week with the power of friendship, Kenny Omega and Don Callis stayed behind because Kenny Omega had a main event match with Hijo, Vikingo, man, Vikingo. I'm not good at Spanish. Vikingo, and I'm gonna be 1,000% honest with y'all. I think that Don Callis has something to do with the attack on the Young Bucks, because Don Callis, I don't trust him. He's up to something. He's up to no good. He's starting trouble in the neighborhood, man. I feel like he may have hired the Blackpool Combat Club to take out the Young Bucks. And my reason being is, I think he figures if the Young Bucks are out of the way, Kenny Omega can go back to being focused on being the god of pro wrestling, the top star, the main event, the best bout machine ever. And that's maybe his weird way of getting Kenny Omega to focus. I don't know. Because we saw in the main event, Don Callis was doing some weird stuff. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. Like I said, I'll start off with showing the aftermath of the attack on the Young Bucks. Then it led to, we're back on schedule. We got Orange Cassidy starting off. He's the opening match. As always, it was a 6-man tag match between Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin, and Sting, taking on Kip Sabian, who I forgot worked for AEW, along with the Bush and the Blade, who I also forgot worked for AEW. Solid match. Sting came out with a nice flight jacket. That jacket went really hard, and he was also doing some of the Orange Cassidy spots. He was doing some of the lazy kicks, and he was rolling out of the way. Solid opener, fun opener. The Faces won. Not really too much to say about that. Next up, we had a match for the tag team titles, the AEW Tag Team Championships. You had Top Flight taking on the champions, the Ass Boys. Again, decent match. I mean, the Ass Boys won. The Kingdom ended up interfering in the match. The referee was distracted. He didn't see what was going on. The Ass Boys won. That's not really what we want to talk about. What you want to talk about is what happened after the match. So the Guns are on the mic. They're talking, and then out comes FTR. So FTR pretty much lays out the challenge, and at first, the Guns were like, nah, we don't care because we already beat you. We don't care about you guys. Move on. We don't care. So at first, FTR was like, listen, if you beat us, we'll never challenge for the tag team titles again. And the Guns were like, we don't care. So they raised the stakes. They said, if you beat us, we'll leave AEW. And the Ass Boys ended up accepting the challenge. So sometime in the near future, it's going to be the Guns taking on FTR for the tag team titles. And if the Guns beat FTR, FTR is gone. So I'm thinking FTR wins. But then again, you never know, man. You never know how these things work, contracts and whatnot. It's a slippery slope, and it could go either way. So I'm hoping FTR wins, but hey, we'll see. Alright, so next up we had the highly anticipated match. Probably one of those match of the year contenders. Probably one of the match of the decades. The greatest wrestling match of all time. You had Hook taking on Stokely Hathaway. Now, at first, Stokely Hathaway was like, listen, I have a doctor's note. I'm not cleared to compete. I'm retiring. And it turns out that this man wrote a doctor's note on a Wingstop receipt, which said he's sick. So the referee said, nah, you're wrestling Hook. It was a no disqualification match. Anything goes. Hook, it went exactly how you thought it was going to go. Hook whooped this man's ass. There was no type of competition at all. Hook won. He looked like he was gonna go for the pin, but he was like, nah, I want to make this man tap out. So he locked in the red rum, and Stokely passed away, or not passed away. He's still alive. Stokely Hathaway is alive. He passed out. And I think what's gonna happen is Ethan Page is gonna end up challenging Hook. Yeah, I mean the match itself was entertaining. I like the dynamic of Matt Hardy and Ethan Page and Isaiah Cassidy. But then I also remember that the Firm was still a thing, and I'm like, I totally forgot about the Firm. I forgot that Big Bill was aligned with these dudes. I forgot that Lee Moriarty was aligned with these dudes. Also, the Guns were a part of the Firm at one point in time, and I don't even know what's going on with them. It is what it is. The match itself was entertaining, but whatever, kind of a throwaway segment. But something that was not a throwaway segment, we had finally an in-ring promo. We had the music. We had the boom. We had the Adam Cole baby. Adam Cole came out, cut a good promo, and was interrupted by, of all people, Daniel Garcia. I didn't see this coming. I was kind of nervous at first because I thought it was going to be Chris Jericho, but it was Daniel Garcia that came out, interrupted Adam Cole. Pretty much laid it out the fact that Daniel Garcia is the new self-proclaimed locker room leader, I think. Yeah. So next week on Dynamite, we're going to get Adam Cole for the first time ever taking on Daniel Garcia. And I think that this is going to be a really good match. For some reason, Daniel Garcia came out dressed like he was an 90s R&B singer. Like he was about to start singing Drew Hill or some shit like that. I don't know, man. It's your style. It is what it is. We're all riding our own horses. It is what it is. But next week, it is official. Adam Cole versus Daniel Garcia. Now, the match itself should be fine, but I'm kind of nervous at the fact that this could lead to Adam Cole taking on Chris Jericho. And we already know how those go. You know how a feud with Chris Jericho goes. It's the feud that never ends. The feud that makes you not want to see anybody involved. So hopefully it just stays between Adam Cole and Daniel Garcia, but I don't know. So next up we had a match between Jon Moxley and Stu Grayson. Blackpool Combat Club continued to do heel things, and it was good to see Stu Grayson in a one-on-one match taking on Jon Moxley. But of course, you already know how this went. Jon Moxley won with a Death Rider off the top rope, super duper Death Rider. Pretty solid match. I mean, it is what it is. Sometime later in the show, you saw Stu Grayson being looked over by AEW doctors, and the Blackpool Combat Club ended up attacking Stu Grayson. And it was speculated that the Blackpool Combat Club, maybe they attacked the Elite, or not the Elite, but the Young Bucks. Also, I have a nagging feeling that maybe the Blackpool Combat Club beat up Tekashi 6ix9ine. Who knows what these three men are up to? Who can stop these three men from beating up random people? We don't know. Where will it end? Maybe it will never end. I don't know. For this, we had a backstage segment with Ricky Starks laying out a challenge for Juice Robinson this Saturday on Rampage. Rampage is going to be on Saturday instead of Friday. I'm assuming because of March Madness, So yeah, Ricky Starks seemed kind of frustrated, not just with Juice Robinson, but maybe AEW. I don't know if it's maybe possibly a work. I think that's what it is, but he did seem visibly frustrated with the whole Juice Robinson situation. It is what it is, so I don't know if they're going to have a match where maybe Ricky Starks just calls out Juice Robinson. I don't know. One thing I do know is I enjoy QTV. I know I might be in the minority with this, but I enjoy QTV. For whatever reason, it's just crazy entertaining. QT Marshall, I like you, dude. I like Aaron Solo with the whole spray bottle in the mouth thing. And they pretty much laid out the fact that I think this Saturday on Rampage is going to be another TNT Open Challenge match. This time it's going to be Powerhouse Hobbs taking on Pentagon Jr. So again, another solid match. Yeah, Next up, we had Sky Blue versus Tony Storm. And it was an okay match, but we're reaching that point with this whole Outcast thing where it's the same thing every week. One member of the Outcast has a match with somebody. That member of the Outcast wins. It looks like all three members of the Outcast are going to jump whoever they wrestled. Riho and Willow Nightingale come out and make the save. Rinse and repeat. It's the same thing every week. It's getting to the point where I want to see what happens next because it's the same thing. It's the same thing happened last week. Pretty sure this happened the week before. Can we get something else? Can we get a little bit more story advancement? Can we get a little bit creative with this story? I mean, there is a high chance of this being something cool, but with the way it's being booked, I'm starting not to care anymore. I cared when Ruby Soho turned heel and joined up with the Outcast, but now I'm starting not to care again because again it's the same thing week after week. Maybe can we see something else? I don't know. But it's time for the main event. They gave us a story last week when this match was announced. Tony Khan said that this is a dream match. He gave the backstory. He elaborated on Twitter. They gave a video package on Rampage. They hyped this up throughout the match throughout the night on Dynamite. So all the people were saying, "Where's the story? What's the point? Who is this guy?" You got it. You got everything you asked for. You got everything you wanted. And the hardcore fans got what they wanted, which was a dope-ass match between Kenny Omega and Vikingo. And I do gotta say, it's good to see Kenny Omega wrestle a singles match again. It's cool. I miss singles Kenny Omega. And as far as Vikingo goes, I'm not all too familiar with him. I think I've seen him wrestle one time on a Triple Mania show. I think it was a Battle Royal. I forget. But pretty much all my exposure of Vikingo has come from clips on Twitter with all the crazy things he does. Because this man, yeah, he does a lot of flips, but it's like what he does makes no sense, and it shouldn't be possible for any man to do what Vikingo does. He's awesome. I want to see more Vikingo. Hopefully we get to see more of him in AEW. Like I said, this was a really good match. Really good match. Like, I'm not surprised that Kenny Omega and Vikingo had this great match. Kenny Omega won with the One Wing Angel. And then after the match, the Blackpool Combat Club, they strike again. They're going on an attacking spree. They attack Kenny Omega after the match. And this is like some prime sports entertainment stuff right here. Some good old Stone Cold Steve Austin type stuff right here. So as the Blackpool Combat Club is beating up Kenny Omega, you cut to the Titantron and it shows the ambulance coming back. Sirens blasting for whatever reason, and somehow, someway, Heyman Adam Page stole a damn ambulance and drove back to the arena and came out to make the save for on behalf of Kenny Omega. He came out with a board with nails that had nails sticking out of it, cleared out the ring. Blackpool Combat Club run, and as this is happening, Don Callis kind of comes up from behind. And he fakes like he got knocked out by Adam Page. Kenny Omega didn't see any of this happen. All he saw was Don Callis on the ground, Hangman Adam Page standing over him with the wooden board. So now I'm telling you, man, this is leading up to something. Don Callis is trying to split up Kenny Omega from the Elite. He's trying to separate him from the Young Bucks. He's trying to separate him from Adam Page. I feel like this is either going to go one or two ways. It's going to be exposed that Don Callis had everything to do with the attack on the Young Bucks, or maybe Don Callis and Kenny Omega split up from the Elite. I don't know, man. It's intriguing stuff. It's some good old storytelling. It makes me intrigued. It makes me interested into seeing what happens next week. This is what I've been missing from AEW. When the Elite is doing their storytelling thing, I feel like this is when AEW is at its best. Yeah, man, honorary W, good show. Yeah. So what did you guys think of this week's episode of Dynamite? Let me know in the comment section below. Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Do you understand who Vikingo is now? Can we stop talking about this and move on to something else? Can we establish some real problems in the world? Let me know in the comment section below. Of course, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. You guys take care. Be easy. I'm out. Peace.